Hey everybody, welcome back. What am I doing today? Well, got a little project today. It involves ratchet, extension, 10mm socket. You could probably do it without a long extension, but I'm using a long one. It just makes it a lot easier. I'm changing thermostat in my daughter's 2006 Chevy Cobalt. It's got a 2.2 motor in it. Anyway, the location on the 2.2 is on the driver's side. If you're facing the front of the car, it's on your right hand side between the engine and the driver's front wheel. It's in that area. If you follow the top radiator hose straight back, you'll come to a T. A little small hose comes off that T and goes to your coolant reservoir and your coolant overflow reservoir, and then it continues on down to a nipple. That is the piece you got to take off. That's the top of the housing for the thermostat. But anyway, using a CarQuest thermostat, model, part number 48628. Like I say, 10mm socket, extension, and you can just probably use a small ratchet. If you're draining it, which I am, you need a screwdriver or something to get the radiator hoses off, to take them loose. But should need a gallon of antifreeze and a gallon of distilled water to put back in it. It won't hold all of it. It'll probably be just short of holding them 2 gallons, so I put half of each in there and then go from there to where you get it full. Make it 50% antifreeze, 50% water. But anyway, let's get to it. Oh, here's the engine. Like I said, it is the Ecotech 2.2. What you have to do is take your oil cap off. Just lay that off to the side, and then the cover here just kind of pops off. Like I said, there's little pieces here that slide down. They just pop on and off. You pull that off and lay it off to the side. And where your thermostat is located on the 2.2 is right down here between the engine and the driver's front wheel. There's a wiring harness here. You can kind of move it around to be able to get your extension down through there. That's why I say extension works a lot better. That way you can do most of the work from up here once you get the socket on the bolt. There's 2 bolts you got to take off to get that thermostat housing off, and that's about all there is to it. So I'm going to get to it, and I'm not going to show you the whole process, but I'll show you once I get each step completed. So first, what I'm going to do is drain the antifreeze into a pan. I'm not going to save it myself and reuse it. I want to put new antifreeze in it, so I bought a gallon of antifreeze, straight antifreeze, and I got a gallon of distilled water to mix and put back in it. That way it's got fresh antifreeze in it to lubricate the water pump and to keep it cool, and to keep it from freezing up in the wintertime, because it's going to get cold this winter. Okay, get on your antifreeze, get the decks cool, pressed on. You can get it at Walmart or your auto parts store, but it's orange. Don't use the green stuff. This is what you need for most of your Chevys anymore. Okay, laying underneath the front of the car and using a jack to raise the front of the car up, that lets you get to the petcock a lot easier. But anyway, I took and pulled the splash guard loose right underneath the front bumper on the passenger side, and you can see it's draining out here. But anyway, the petcock, it drains right here. There's a little small hole in this radiator mount. It drains through the bottom of the radiator mount. Take a piece of wire. I used a plastic zip tie, a small one. Make sure the hole's cleaned out. Make sure there ain't no dirt in there. And then to open the petcock is right above that radiator mount. It turns, and you probably got to turn it about 2 full turns before it starts draining. I think that's what it was on me, and it's hard to turn. I would drain there first before you take your thermostat out. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot more antifreeze up there dripping underneath the thermostat housing. Like I say, this is on the passenger side of the car, looking at underneath the front bumper. And it's a little windy out here. I got the 2 bolts. You can see there's where one bolt goes for the thermostat housing. Next bolt is right down through here. Probably can't. There it is, right there. See the shiny hole, and the other one is right there. Just 2. You will get a little bit of water and antifreeze out when you loosen that, because your overflow reservoir will drain down, so you'll lose everything that's in your reservoir too, and it'll come out there. Then just pull the hose back some to get to the just pull it back, and then the thermostat sets down in there. You can see the top of the thermostat. Just remember which way the thermostat goes. Get the new thermostat. Okay, the new thermostat is there's no, and the other thing is there's no gasket that goes on that housing. It's kind of self-sealing. It's got like a rubber on both sides of the there's a rubber here that seals and a rubber here that comes on, and you don't have to install it. But when you pull the old thermostat out, it looks just like that right there. Pull the hose back. You can see it looks just like that. So where the numbers is wrote on here, that goes in first. So this will drop down just like that, right in the hole. I'm going to pull the old one out, stick the new one in. Alright, we got everything, all the hoses back on. We took and got the thermostat in. The thermostat's tightened down. Just got this car here in the last couple months. We haven't drove it much, been driving it just a little bit, just to see if there was anything that needed to be done to it. That's why I chose to put a new thermostat in it and redo the antifreeze in it, because it was running cool. I found out why it was running cool. Somebody took the thermostat apart. You got to have this in it to keep it from leaking around that housing because of this rubber seal. And that's another thing, when you put the new one in, make sure this rubber seal is on all the way around. And it helps if it does come off on you, just put it back on. It helps if it's wet, so get water or antifreeze on it, and you shouldn't have a problem. It was running anywhere from 140 to 175 on a normal temperature day. You know, if it is running cool and the thermostat is bad, it'll probably throw a code. I don't remember what the code was, but it'll say low coolant temperature sensor or something like that. But that's probably what it is. You probably need to replace your thermostat. And while you're at it, drain it from the bottom of the radiator. Get everything out of the radiator. I don't think this car had much antifreeze in it, but I did take and flush out the block with garden hose. And anyway, it held a gallon of antifreeze and whatever water was in the bottom of the block, which I'm gonna guess probably a half gallon, almost a half gallon. And then I put almost a half a gallon of distilled water back in it. So get you a gallon of antifreeze when you go to do this, and a thermostat, and you'll be good to go. Like I said, this is the 2.2 Ecotech motor on the 2006 Chevy Cobalt. The 2.0 and the 2.4 is a little different, but similar. The thermostat is just located in a different position on the motor. But on the 2.2, it's over here, kind of underneath the fuse box. You'll have to take this cover off, which, remember, take your oil cap off and then it'll just pull straight up. It'll come off. After you put, fill your reservoir up with antifreeze and water, take and start it. Let it warm up to a normal temperature, which be up, the 190s to 200. And just keep watching on it. If that level goes down, add some more to it. And after it quits going down, take and drive it around the block. Drive it a couple miles, and that forces that water pump to circulate your water. It'll help pump any air out. Then after you get it back to the house, check it, fill it back up. And what I like to do is take and squeeze each radiator hose. There's one on this side. You can just squeeze it like a balloon, and have your reservoir cap off, and you'll see that you're squeezing antifreeze back up into there. And what you're doing, you're purging it, getting any air out, helping get any air out of the lines. And then do it the same thing. There's a radiator hose here, take and purge that. But real simple to do. If you have everything, you can do it in under an hour. That's about all there is to it. I'm Redneck in a hat. That's what you do to a 2006 Chevy Cobalt to get the one of these doohickeys thermostat changed. Oh, by the way, this was a new thermostat, was about 23 bucks. That's with tax. I bought it at Advance Auto, and they gave me a CarQuest thermostat. And the CarQuest thermostat was 48628, about 23 bucks at Advance Auto. AutoZone probably going to be about similar on price on theirs. But thanks for watching, Redneck in a Hat. Till next time, everybody.